And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fourth segment, which is going to be talking about Rintaro, Sasaki, and the future of Japanese players throughout MLB. So let's get into it. So if you don't know who Rintaro Sasaki is, well, you'll learn very soon. This is one of the most prolific Japanese high school prospects ever. He set the record for Japanese high school home runs with 140, which is absolutely insane. This is a super tall, super big 19-year-old first base prospect, one of the biggest power hitters we've seen come out of Japan in a long, long time, and really is taking America by storm right now. So what was interesting about him, and kind of unique that we're talking about him already, before he's even close for agency, is that he did not go to the NPB draft, like, of course, most Japanese superstars do. Coming out of Japan, they want to stay in their home country. He instead he's going to United States College in Stanford, one of the best college baseball programs in the country, and is going to be drafted in the MLB. And of course, he's going to be a surefire first-round pick. Maybe even would go first overall. I really wouldn't be surprised. So that was a very interesting tactic that he did that really was not known by a lot of NPB players that they would do. If you don't know, actually, Shohei Ohtani, when he was first coming out of high school, wanted to go to the MLB instead of NPB, but the NPB team he did end up going to. I don't remember which one it was. Of course, I have a NPB jersey back there there it is, in Kodai Senga, my SoftBank Hawks jersey, which I do love, so that's an NPB jersey there. But when he was coming out of high school, he wanted to go to the MLB draft instead of going to NPB. Of course, his goal has always been to go to the MLB. So the only reason he didn't was because, again, his NPB team at the time said, we'll let you be a two-way player off the gate, and that's really what sealed it for him. And he got that. He got that choice, and then, of course, became the greatest player in baseball history, in my opinion, at least. But yeah, so this is really a route that no other player has taken. Like Sasaki, again, players have thought about it, but really never had done it. And it's be very interesting to see if they do this in the future. You have guys like Munetto Murakami, Roki Sasaki, no relation to Rintaro, I believe. Both of these guys are superstar MPB players. Sasaki probably coming over next year. Munetto Murakami maybe next year as well. I'm not exactly sure what his financial situation is, but Murakami is a top power hitting third baseman. Sasaki is one of the best pitching prospects we've ever seen. If you thought Yoshinobu Yamamoto was good or had a lot of hype, that's nothing compared to Sasaki. So that'll be very, very fun to see this offseason. So excited. Please get him, Mets. Really hoping. But if those players did what Rintaro did, it would have been interesting to see where they got drafted, what their journey would have been like through the MLB minor leagues, and what their development would have looked like as well. So I think what Sasaki did, took a lot of balls, was really great, and honestly could pave the way for what MPB players could do in the future. They're seeing now what guys like Yamamoto are going to get as coming over to the MLB. They got $300 million, but you had to wait. Sasaki now is going to get a huge contract out of the draft, could get a huge extension early, and then also once he gets free agency, will get a huge contract, assuming everything goes to plan and he is a great player. So I think they're seeing this money, they're seeing the amount of press you can get in the MLB, how much of a star you can be here, with now how many Asian fans are checking into the game, and I think they're seeing that this is a valuable way of going about your career, and I think Sasaki could be the first person to do this. Very interested to see if more Japanese superstars do follow. And yeah, just so excited to end up seeing what does happen with that. So if you look at Sasaki himself, again, this is a very huge first baseman, both in size and in height. This is a guy who has light tower power. His first swing in the United States was a home run. He is with the Trenton Thunder in the MLB Draft League, where I believe kind of mediocre MLB draft players go to get their stock up. Of course, Sasaki's only doing it because he wants to get some exposure right now. But yeah, he's racked up 3 hits so far, 5 RBIs in 2 games, and yeah, just has done really, really well with the Trenton Thunder. I'm sure it's a big culture shock for him going from Japan to Trenton, New Jersey. No offense, New Jersey people, but I think that should be a little different for him. But yeah, his swing is really great. Shows a lot of power throughout it, and I think should really age very well and should become a really, really fantastic MLB player. and just a player throughout this system, whoever gets him. And yeah, just honestly really excited to watch him play. And yeah, I think him going to Stanford was a big deal, and it was I see a lot of Japanese baseball accounts were surprised by that, because he was expected to be the number one overall pick in the MPB draft. And with that, you basically go straight to the MPB right away. I'm sure you spent a little bit of time in the Japanese minor leagues, but being the first overall pick is a little bit different there. I'm sure you just go up and kind of start hitting right away. And instead, he wanted to go the harder route, go through the minor leagues, and go to MLB college. And honestly, I'm really excited to see how he does match up with college. I think that the MPB is more like 4A, which is basically, it's better than AAA, but not as good as the MLB, so 4A. But I think now we'll see with him compared to college, how well is he going to do? Because this is a college hitter who probably will be up within 2 to 3 years of him getting drafted. So overall, it's going to be very, very exciting to see Sasaki in his future and just what happens more with Japanese players in the future. I think that this is a trend that is going to continue, and is something that I am very excited to watch myself. I'm so excited to see Sasaki whenever he gets drafted in the next 2 to 3 years, I'd say, and what his career ends up like, and what team he gets drafted by, and how they, use him. And just, this is something that is very, very exciting to me, very interesting for the game of baseball. And yeah, I think that this is something that is really great. You need more Japanese players in this league, and getting a superstar like Sasaki really is going to end up helping out this league. And with all the other Japanese stars in the game right now, like, of course, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, I mean, of course, the history with it, with having Ichiro, I think the game is only growing internationally, and guys like Rintaro are doing a great job of helping that and bringing a new audience. So yeah, it should be very, very fun to watch Sasaki in the MLB Draft League. I think they are live streaming at MLB TV for free if you do want to watch his games. But with the Toronto Thunder, if you're in the area, go watch. It's very, very exciting to be able to see a guy who I believe is going to be a future superstar in the making. Again, light tower power. The analytics on his swing are insane. The analytics on the ball he hits are insane. His exit velocity is incredible. So this is a guy I really love as a prospect and think is going to be a big part of MLB's future and determining what course of action players could take. What it reminds me a lot of is Carter Stewart, who was a former Braves first round pick, but instead of signing with the Braves, he instead went to a NPB team who gave him money straight up, could be in the league straight up, in the MPB straight up, and if he did well, he could end up going to the major leagues without ever playing in the minor leagues and getting a big contract and being a free agent. That was a very interesting situation he did at that time. It didn't really work out for him, as he has now become sort of a mediocre player in the NPB, just kind of a 3 or 4 starter. I'm not exactly sure for what team, but yeah, he's kind of just become just a mediocre player in the MPB, so it didn't really work out. But I think the course of action was good, and his thought process was good. So that, again, I'm kind of comparing it to Rintaro in the way that they've gone about these new things. So yeah, should be very, very interesting to watch, and super excited to see what does end up happening with Sasaki in his future, and just overall Japanese players coming over to the States as well. So yeah, that was our 4th segment here. We'll be moving into our 5th and final segment, which is going to be talking about Luis Robert and some trade rumors involving him. Talked about it a little bit on the show yesterday, but I wanted to do a full segment on it and go deeper into it. So yeah, we'll be talking about that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.